BEFuture Knowledge Hub, where experts share their experiences dealing with the challenges facing our industry today. To help the event sector flourish, BEFuture explores the role of technology, highlights how sustainability helps us thrive, considers the role talent plays, and paves the way for the transformation that will boost resilience. Embracing sustainability to thrive. We explore what 4 key players are doing when it comes to certification and emissions calculations for business events.
We bring events on a journey of sustainability and regeneration, as we do know that the path of business as normal no longer works. And we've seen that through the crisis of COVID. We see that through some of the business models that are out of date. We bring all of the suppliers and the ecosystem together to form the strategy and first align on the rules, and then the hard work starts with the supply chain work, with the work of the destination, and last but not least, how do we measure our success? And that comes with all the tiny small details coming together in the measurement system, and that shows us how we performed. And hopefully in the next year we do learn from all of that and increase our capacity, increase the capacity of the suppliers and bring even better results. Meetings and events industry has a shadow. And I think we all seen that the impact is real. And our job, our responsibility in this regard is to bring that positive change. So not only to mitigate the footprint, but also bring the positive handprint to the destination and to the communities that are hosting the events. I don't see certification as the only solution. I think the certification is a certain level of standard. It's a tool, it's a framework on how to progress. However, it's not the end goal. It's a tool that helps us to perform better. And even when the certification is achieved, it doesn't mean that the journey is over. I think there are many organizations who need to start their journey on their own speed and then get the certification when it's the right time for them. Carbon measurement and the tools around the carbon measurement, especially for the events, it's a very interesting field, and I do see a lot of movement in new platforms being launched. Some are more complex, some are more simple, some are specific for the event sector, some are for more generic sectors and could be used for the event sector. So I think it's a very interesting space where we are today with all these new technologies and innovations coming out there. What is exciting and yet could be confusing is which calculator to use and how can I make the most of it. I do see a little bit of the uncomfort of using different carbon calculator tools. We do have very smart technologies that do not require environmental science degree in order to use those platforms. Actually, there is a recent research done by a sustainability guru, Megan Jones. She has published a review of 40 different carbon measurement tools for the events with very thorough analysis. I think we need to understand that the data that we receive on a yearly basis or in reoccurring events basis, it's easier to compare if it's done on the same calculator. So do that research first, select which level of the degree and the calculation you want to get to, and use the same calculator for at least a few times to understand it a little bit better, to understand your event a little bit better from the carbon footprint perspective.
The Net Zero Carbon Events Initiative is a worldwide initiative by the events industry in order to address climate change. The events industry 3 years ago came together in order to create the Net Zero Carbon Events Initiative and work together with the UN, all the stakeholders together. We have, of course, been working feverishly on this since 3 years. We have developed the roadmap for decarbonization for the entire industry, and this can be used by all the stakeholders. It can be used by venues, organizers, suppliers, by destinations, and so on. We've launched the roadmap in Sharm el-Sheikh at the COP27. We came together in order to create further guidance documents on different topics, such as venue energy, such as travel and accommodation, of course logistics, smart production and waste management, end. So all of this is publicly available on the resources page of the Net Zero Carbon Events Initiative. It's all open sourced, and right now we have close to 700 entities from 60 countries who are part of this initiative, who commit to the Paris Agreement, who want to be net zero by 2050. It's basically the entire value chain of the meetings and events industry. Communication is a big part. We try to reach out to as many stakeholders as possible around the world. We're very happy to work together with BEFuture project, and we think it's a great project co-financed by the European Commission in bringing sustainability at the core of this project. We also understand that sustainability around the world is on different stages. We need to get more stakeholders in North America, Asia Pacific, Africa, and so on. We do have stakeholders from 60 countries, so actually all the continents are represented within the initiative, which is great. We need to do more. We need to basically spark the enthusiasm for sustainability towards all the stakeholders. Inclusivity is at the core, which is basically the main mantra which was given by the United Nations when we have started this initiative. That the events industry is not the cleanest industry per se. We have a considerable carbon footprint when we organize meetings and exhibitions, basically all types of business events. Especially when it comes to bringing participants to our meetings and events. Regulations help a lot, and certifications, of course, a huge topic. We have already identified more than 30 different standards out there around the world. It's really an open invitation to all the bodies who do certifications to approach us, so that we can go through them together and understand really how all this is aligned in order for us to move forward. The majority of the stakeholders within our industry are actually small and medium-sized companies, and this is something which is at the heart of all our work. There is a document on the resources page on the Net Zero Carbon Events website, which includes more than 100 best practices which the events industry stakeholders can use. James Rees from Excel London, he has shared that they are, for example, using the guidance documents which were developed by our initiative, and it is helping them already to achieve the decarbonization efforts.
Our product is called My Impact Tool. It is a platform designed for event organizers, event professionals, and event agencies that helps them to map the impact of their event on sustainability, both the ecological side and the social side, but also allows them to report their good work in a way that is authentic, so without doing any greenwashing, to the outside world, so that they can leverage what they have done well and that they can inspire others to do the same. Any organizer of events or conferences can use our tool to simulate actually the impact of their event concept and to do that for multiple scenarios and to discuss that with their customers and stakeholders, so that from the start you're actually designing your event with sustainability in mind. We also help them by simplifying this process so that they can do that without losing weeks of time or without paying specialized consultants many thousands of euros to do this. You have a report at the end that tells the world how sustainable you have organized your event, and this may help them to attract new customers to their activity, which is today actually more and more becoming the case, where customers are demanding such a proof as a condition to grant the project to one or the other venue or agency or region even. We have obtained several certifications. It is for us very important. It helps us also to convince our customers that what we say is what we do. And for me, certifications help to validate that what people say is what they do. Unfortunately today, certifications are rather expensive and they are labor intense, which makes them less scalable. Again, so if we want to cover the entire world and make every single event more sustainable, it will be difficult to do certifications of every single event. So I think we need to go towards a model where people put in place best practices, processes, collect data, do their own calculations, and then certify this process. So to make sure that what they say is what they do, and then to have some intermediate checkups. So I think the model of certifications is important, should be further scaled so that it becomes also accessible to everybody, because otherwise it will be the big companies that have a lot of money that will obtain a certification. We publish in open source lists of recommendations and we provide the reports so that they can leverage their work. And then I think there is a role for government to forbid certain things and to stimulate other things where we are involved. We're in contact with government associations as well to help them measure.
As a big hotel group, I think we help in two ways. One, of course, is to have our hotels certify and verify on recognized eco-labels, like for example, Hotel Sustainability Basics or Green Key, and also to work with the destination to create, for example, a network of responsible suppliers, or to also work with the local community in terms of contributing when there's a big meeting or event. We work always as Radisson Hotel Group either with what I said, verified or certified programs. So it means that someone is checking the claims that are being made. We do that as an entry level with Hotel Sustainability Basics. That's a program of the World Travel and Tourism Council. Again, it's an industry-defined program by the industry for the industry, and it's ideal to get started. It's really ideal because it has progress built in. You have to get better year after year. We have been working with Green Key International out of Denmark for many, many years. Why? Because we know that they are serious in the way that they define their standards. We also work with, in Asia, we work with EarthCheck as an example, and also we partner with GSCC, and they also have a network of recognized accredited certifications. So I think there's easily about 20 that are really good. But I would say to anyone, make sure it's verified, certified, make sure that it is comprehensive, that it covers planet and people criteria, make sure it has continuous improvement built in, and is checked by a third party. I think the meeting and events industry can be more sustainable if we choose the quality and over the cost, I think, and sustainability, of course, over cost. I think we can go a long way with the meeting and events industry. I think during the pandemic we have learned that a combination of face-to-face and hybrid events, so with hubs and spokes in different places, actually help to reduce, for example, the carbon footprint by up to 70%. At Radisson Hotel Group, we're really set up to do this with very good technology to make it happen and to connect the different hubs of this event together. We have offered carbon compensated meetings, 100% carbon compensated, for multiple years now. But we do that based on a calculation that we can explain, a carbon footprint calculation that we can explain, that we are transparent about, and also carbon compensation projects that are of a very high standard. Food and beverage, because food and beverage is of course a large part next to transportation and the location of what's happening in the footprint of a meeting or event. So I think we need to be smart about the menus we offer. For example, we do that with offering a minimum of 30% of plant-based or vegetarian options. and also managing the waste. Managing the waste with different solutions that we have now in the bigger meeting and event hotels that use a bit of AI to recognize what food waste we are getting, and therefore we can optimize the menus. The Hotel Carbon Measurement Initiative, or HCMI, which actually is a footprinting tool that makes a bit of an abstraction about who does what and what is outsourced and which contract it is, but it offers you a carbon footprint for the meeting and event space, for the lodging side, per square meter per hour, if you want. The Cool Food Pledge of the World Resources Institute, I think they are a good source because they have built this expertise. So for event planners who want to know where to start, I think that's a good place to start. I would say the best way to get started with sustainability is to take the first step. A long journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So we all need to do and take a first step, not think too much about what that could be, etc., etc. I also think that perfection is the enemy of getting anything done.
I'm very positive of where we are today in terms of sustainability and regeneration. I've been in the industry for a number of years and I've seen different trends and different movements, and I finally see so much happening in the field of sustainability. Maybe that's the time, maybe that's finally the message that came across, but I'm very hopeful and I'm very excited to see where it goes.
From our contributors' experiences, we hope you will remember 3 key takeaways. The most important step is the first one you take. You don't need a science degree to measure your carbon footprint. Sustainability, good for the planet and good for your business. Leverage your sustainability efforts to boost your business offer. We hope you can benefit from the insights just shared. If you have found the content useful, then please make the most of the other resources BEFuture has to offer.